My hair's so pretty. It's aggravating. So, yeah. Do you know how some girls, they have really long hair? And they keep saying, I want to cut my hair. I want to cut my hair. Let me get in the camera if it rains. And people say, but why do you want to cut your hair? It's so beautiful. And then I said to this woman, no offense, you don't want your daughter to cut her hair. No, it's beautiful. But do you have to live with it? She was a good point. Next time I seen that girl, she had not quite a pixie cut, but it was like hair, and she had it behind her ears, and it was nice. And I went, whoa, awesome job. She goes, I feel so much better. She felt so, because she had a big, when you have a big forehead, you're good for bangs. A little forehead like this, no, you don't need bangs. You can get them if you want, but I just choose not to because I regret it every single time. I said I was probably going to pixie cut again when I'm 50. I'm 51 and a half, so not getting one. I'm leaving my iPad? No, light pad on. Well, up. Always unplug that at night. Anyway, when you're not using your light pad for your diamond paints, always unplug it. Um, Leaving it up because I want to do more on the diamond painting. I only went live once yesterday for diamond painting. Today I'll go live before my doctor's appointment. After I get back, probably have lunch, or maybe not, or I'll just wait for supper. I do that sometimes. And then I'll maybe lay down for a bit, and then I'll go live. Oh yeah, I have to finish that. Doing my list of make a swatch list for my oh wow, fine liners. Oh, see. Okay. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and give us our trespasses, as we have, as we as we forgiven, as we forgive them that trespass against us, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, Jehovah, for another beautiful day and your beautiful earth. And thank you for allowing us to wake up today. And thank you for what you did for us in the past, present, and what you will do for us in the future. You just can't see all the names like that. There you go. You can see them now. Oh, no, you can't. Hold on. Here we go. Jehovah, please help Tate, Cindy Lee, King Charles, Chad Griffith, Joe Biden, Michael Bolton, Ric Flair, who all have cancers, different stages, different kinds. Please cure them and give them physical mental strength to get through it. Celine Dion has stiff person syndrome. She suffers from seizures and a lot of pain. Please cure them. Sarah suffers from migraines. She's on a spectrum. And she has autoimmune disorder. I don't know what. But and she's did I say high blood pressure? Please cure her and help her and help Jess. Also for migraines, diabetes. She has a bunch of stuff, especially POTS. Let her medication regulate her without her feeling yucky and run down and tired and exhausted. And please let her sleep in patterns get back to normal, like sleep at night and then wake up in the morning and then be up all morning. Please help them and help her mother and bless both sides of the family. Continue to help Jenny. Tiffany, I haven't heard from Jenny in a bit. She must be camping or something. Jenny, Tiffany, Robin Taylor, help her heal from her second eye surgery for cataracts. Please, yes, please let everything heal very well. Miss Diane and daughters, I don't even know how she's doing. I have to ask Vicky. Please help, continue to help Arnie, Vicky and family, Carol and the family, and bless everybody. In Jesus' name, amen. Jeez. When I loosen the arm, right here, right there, it goes down every time. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Yeah. Plug this in. Really? You done having a spaz attack? Shot hot. Ugh, really? I don't like it when it does that. I have to get new ones. That's what I can ask my sister. More chargers. I need 2 more chargers. One for my phone, one for my iPad. You want to see what happens to the one for my phone? Now, the one for my phone, I taped it up so it wouldn't split, right? So, it's still split. Because when I was taking old tape off, I should have just left it. And, putting on new, and it was split spiral, mate. But I did not do nothing to it. I didn't even pull the tape tight. I don't know. Okay, daily text, August 14th. Would you believe it's 14th? 2025, Thursday. During the time he was searching for Jehovah, the true God made him prosper. Second Chronicles. All right, the Second Chronicles. It's all weird. First is Second Chronicles 26:5, then 26:1 through 4, then 26:6 through 18, and then 26:16 through 18, then 19 through 21. Different times. I'm not going to just read it all at once because I think we need to hear it one by one. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. So Second Chronicles chapter 26, verse 5 reads, And he kept searching for God in the days of Zechariah, who taught him to fear the true God. During the time he was searching for Jehovah, the true God made him prosper. Because he kept searching for him, Jehovah made him prosper. Right? Yeah. To fear God. What does it mean to fear God? Hold on. What does it mean to fear God?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia.
Fear God, or let's just click on it. Just easier because it disappears after a while. It's not the fear like, ah, you know, fear God or theoporphia. What? Wait. Yeah. may refer to fear itself, but more often to a sense of awe and submission to a deity. People subscribing to popular monotheistic religions, for instance, might fear hell and divine judgment or submit to God's obedience. Yeah. You wanna that's not subscribe, it says submission. I might have said subscribed, but yeah, it's like an awe. You wanna obey him. You don't want to disappoint God, Jehovah. As a youth, King Uzziah was humble. He learned to fear the true God, and Jehovah blessed him for more of his 68 years. Second Corinthians, that's not even on here. Second Chronicles chapter 26, 1 through 4. Let me get a sip of water. I'm sorry. Sorry. Uzziah defeated many of the nation's enemies and strengthened Jerusalem's defense. 2 Corinthians chapter 26, 6 through 15. He went out and fought against the Philistines and broke through the wall of Gath, the wall of Jabneth, and the wall of Ashdod. Then he built cities in the territories of Ashdod and among the Philistines. The true God continued to help him against the Philistines, against the Arabians, or Arabians, who were dwelling in Gabal, and against the Meunim. The Ammonites began to give tribute to Uzziah. My Uzziah built towers in Jerusalem by the corner gate, the valley gate, and the buttress, and he fortified them. Further, he built towers in the wilderness and dug many cisterns, for he had a great deal of livestock. He also did so in the Shephelah and on the plain. He had farmers and vine dressers in the mountains and in Carmel, for he loved agriculture. Moreover, Uzziah came to have an army equipped for war. They would go out on military campaigns, organized in divisions. They were numbered and registered by Jael, the secretary, in Maaziah. the officer, under the command of Hananiah. Well, I like that name. Hananiah, or so, yeah, Hananiah, one of the king's princess. The entire number of the heads of the. You know what? I'm done with this. I'm having trouble reading it, and I think we should start over on. Oh, I'm gonna let the little guy inside read it because I'm not reading it very well, if you can tell.
Chapter 26.
Oh, nope.
Then all the people of Judah took Uzziah.
Sorry. Number 6 we start at.
He went out and fought against the Philistines and broke through the wall of Gath, the wall of Jabneh, and the wall of Ashdod. Then he built cities in the territory of Ashdod and among the Philistines. The true God continued to help him against the Philistines, against the Arabians who were dwelling in Gerbaal, and against the Meunim. The Ammonites began to give tribute to Uzziah. His fame eventually spread as far as Egypt, for he became extremely powerful. Moreover, Uzziah built towers in Jerusalem by the corner gate, the valley gate, and the buttress, and he fortified them. Further, he built towers in the wilderness and dug many cisterns, for he had a great deal of livestock. He also did so in the Shephelah and on the plain. He had farmers and vine dressers in the mountains and in Carmel, for he loved agriculture. Moreover, Uzziah came to have an army equipped for war. They would go out on military campaigns organized in divisions. They were numbered and registered by Jael the secretary and Maaseiah the officer under the command of Hananiah, one of the king's princes. The entire number of the heads of the paternal houses who were over these mighty warriors was 2,600. The armed forces under their command numbered 307,500 men ready for war, a powerful military force to support the king against the enemy. Uzziah equipped the entire army with shields, lances, helmets, coats of mail, bows, and slingstones. Further, in Jerusalem, he made engines of war designed by engineers. They were set on the towers and on the corners of the walls, and could shoot arrows and large stones. So his fame spread far and wide, for he received tremendous help, and he became strong.
Okay. That's why sometimes you guys will hear me say, I'm going to let the little guy inside read it because he reads it better. Uzziah was surely happy with all that God had helped him to do. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, 12 and 15 reads, I have concluded that there is nothing better for them than to rejoice and to do good during their life. Also that everyone should eat and drink and find enjoyment for all his hard work. It is the gift of God. See, they tell us to drink and eat, but not to overdo it. You don't eat until you gorge yourself and you feel, I ate too much. Don't do that. You can always go back and get some later. You know what I mean? Make your plate. Put your name on it. And put it in the fridge. Or if your snacks, cover it up. Like some people do that. And drinking. There's nothing wrong having one beer or one glass of wine or one glass of champagne. Just not the whole bottle of champagne. Or not a whole 6-pack of beers. Come on now. What good would that do? You'd be sick the next day. King Uzziah was accustomed to have others follow his instructions. Did that make him think he could do anything he wanted? Well, one day Uzziah decided to enter Jehovah's temple and presumptuously tried to burn incense on the altar, which kings were not allowed to do. Uh-oh, he's in trouble. 2 Chronicles chapter 16. No, oh my gosh. 2 Chronicles chapter 26, 16 through 18. However, as soon as he was strong, his heart became haughty to his own ruin, and he acted unfaithfully against Jehovah, his God, by entering the temple of Jehovah to burn incense on the altar of incense. Sorry. And that's why I have the machine read it to me. Well, read it to you. Immediately, Azariah, the priest, and 80 others courageous priests of Jehovah went in after him. They confronted King Uzziah and said to him, "It is not proper for you, Uzziah, to burn incense to Jehovah. It is only the priest who should burn incense, for they are the descendants of Aaron, those who have been sanctified. Go out from the sanctuary, for you have acted unfaithfully, and you will receive no glory from Jehovah." Oh, excuse me. And you will receive no glory from Jehovah God for this. That was the hiccup. Sorry. Whew. High priest Azariah tried to correct him, but Uzziah got very angry. Sadly, Uzziah ruined his record of faithful service and was punished with leprosy. Oh boy. 2 Chronicles chapter 26, verses 19 through 21. I said that correctly. Today's not a good day, but I'm going to have a wonderful day today. But Uzziah, who had a censer in his hand to burn incense, became enraged, and during his rage against the priest, leprosy broke out on his forehead in the presence of the priest, in the house of Jehovah, next to the altar of incense. When Azariah, the chief priest, and all the priests turned toward him, they saw that he had been stricken with leprosy in his forehead, so they rushed him out of there, and he himself hurried out, because Jehovah had struck him. King Uzziah remained a leper until the day of his death, and he kept staying in a separate house as a leper, for he had been excluded from the house of Jehovah. His son Jotham was in charge of the king's house, judging the people of the land. How different his life would have turned out had he remained humble. Yeah. Only if he did not do that. He knew what he was doing. Why did he do it anyway? I don't know. I wish he didn't. I wish he didn't go through with it. You know what I mean, jelly beans? Okay, lessons you can learn from the Bible. Lesson 41. Hold on. Okay. David and Saul. His name is also Paul.
Lesson 41. David and Saul. After David killed Goliath, King Saul put him in charge of his army. David won many battles, and he became very popular. Whenever David came home from war, the women would come out dancing and singing, "Saul has struck down thousands, and David has struck down tens of thousands." Saul became jealous of David and wanted to kill him. David could play the harp very well. One day, while David was playing the harp for Saul, the king hurled his spear at him. David dodged it just in time, and the spear shot into the wall. After that, Saul tried many more times to kill David. Eventually, David ran away and hid in the desert. Saul took an army of 3,000 men and went hunting for David. He happened to enter the very cave where David and his men were hiding. David's men whispered, "This is your chance to kill Saul." David crept towards Saul and cut off a piece of the king's coat. Saul did not notice. Afterward, David felt very bad that he had not shown respect for Jehovah's anointed king. He did not allow his men to attack Saul. He even called out to Saul, saying that he could have killed Saul when he had the chance. Would Saul change his mind about David? No. Saul kept hunting for David. One night, David and his nephew Abishai sneaked into Saul's camp. Even Abner, Saul's bodyguard, was sleeping. Abishai said, "This is our chance. Let me kill him." David replied, "Jehovah will deal with Saul. Let's just take his spear and his water jug and go."
Yes.
David climbed a nearby mountain that overlooked Saul's camp. He shouted, "Abner, why didn't you protect your king? Where are Saul's jug and spear?" Saul recognized David's voice and said, "You could have killed me, but you did not. I know that you will be the next king of Israel." Saul went back to his palace, but not all in Saul's family hated David. If possible, as far as it depends on you, be peaceable with all men. Do not avenge yourselves, beloved, but yield place to the wrath. Romans 12:18 and 19.
Yes. So, why did Saul want to kill David? Well, wasn't he jealous? Jealousy is bad, guys. Jealousy is bad. Yeah, exactly. He, hey, baby. Hey, everybody. Ivy Joseph, good morning. Yeah, she just went Oh, you're all wet. Poor thing. Oh, are you cold? Are you cold? You want to be... Oh, everything on my bed? That case, I'm getting rid of it. Hold on. Let me get the dog all wrapped up. Yeah. Lay down. How's that? Or, actually, no, that's not working out. She likes being wrapped up like a... Yeah, she likes this. Yep. I'll show you really quick. She's in there so messy. Aww. She's so cute. She came out just to see you. She usually afraid of, the camera. But she talked to Jess when we were talking to him. So why did Saul want to kill David? He was jealous. Why did David refuse to kill Saul? Hold on. Okay, let me find it. Well, David felt very bad that he had not shown respect for Jehovah's anointed king. He did not allow his men to attack Saul. He even called out to Saul, saying that he could have killed Saul when he had the chance. Would Saul change his mind about David? No. Hold on. David replied, Jehovah will... wait a minute. I think I'm getting confused. Why did David refuse to kill Saul? I got confused. Oh, you okay, baby? Go to sleep. I got doctors to heal. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, why did David refuse to kill Saul? I believe he said that Jehovah will deal with him. Let me see. Where is it? Yeah, here it is, right here. This is our chance to kill him. David replied, Jehovah will deal with Saul. Let's just take his spear and his water jug and go. And then Saul recognized David's voice and said, You could have killed me, but you did not. I know that you will be the next king of Israel. Saul went back to his palace, but not all in Saul's family hated David. So, yep. So let's all listen to all the passages we have to read. I'll just this one read everything. So chapter 16. They're all from 1 Samuel. Chapter 16, 14 through 23.
Now the spirit of Jehovah had departed from Saul, and a bad spirit from Jehovah terrorized him. The servants of Saul said to him,
You see that a bad spirit from God is terrorizing you.
Let our Lord please command your servants before you to look for a man who is skilled at playing the harp. Whenever a bad spirit from God comes upon you, he will play it, and you will feel better.
So Saul said to his servants,
Find me, please, a man who plays well, and bring him to me.
Sorry.
One of the attendants said,
Look, I have seen how a son of Jesse the Bethlehemite plays skillfully, and he is a courageous, mighty warrior. He can speak well, and he is handsome, and Jehovah is with him.
Saul then sent messengers to Jesse and said,
Send to me your son David, who is with the flock.
So Jesse loaded a donkey with bread, a skin bottle of wine, and a young goat, and sent them to Saul with his son David. Thus David came to Saul and began serving him. Saul grew to love him very much, and he became his armor-bearer. Saul sent a message to Jesse.
Please let David remain in my service, for he has found favor in my eyes.
Whenever a bad spirit from God came upon Saul, David took the harp and played it, and Saul found relief and felt better, and the bad spirit would depart from him.
Is it pronounced Saul or Saul? Do you guys know? All right, so chapter 18, 5 through 16. Oh, yeah.
David began going out and was successful wherever Saul would send him. So Saul put him in charge of the fighting men, and this pleased all the people and the servants of Saul. When David and the others would return from striking down the Philistines, the women would come out from all the cities of Israel with song and dances to meet King Saul with tambourines, with rejoicing, and with lutes. The women who were celebrating would sing,
Saul has struck down his thousands, and David his tens of thousands.
Saul became very angry, and this song displeased him, for he said,
They have credited David with tens of thousands, but to me, they have credited thousands. The only thing left to give him is the kingship.
From that day on, Saul was always looking at David suspiciously. The next day, a bad spirit from God gripped Saul, and he started to act strangely inside the house while David was playing music on the harp, as on other occasions. Saul had a spear in his hand, and he hurled the spear, saying to himself,
I will pin David to the wall.
But David escaped from him twice. Then Saul was afraid of David, because Jehovah was with him, but had departed from Saul. So Saul removed him from his presence, and appointed him as chief of 1,000, and David would lead the army into battle. David continued to have success in all he did, and Jehovah was with him. And when Saul saw that he was very successful, he became afraid of him. But all Israel and Judah loved David, because he would lead them in their campaigns. Saul later said to David,
Here is my oldest daughter, Merab. I will give her to you.
Stop. It was only supposed to go up to 16. So this next one is chapter 19, 9 through 12. I think I can handle that one. And a bad spirit from Jehovah came upon Saul when he was sitting in his house with his spear in his hand. While David was playing music on the harp, Saul tried to pin David to the wall with the spear, but he eluded Saul, who drove the spear into the wall. David fled and escaped during that night. Saul later sent messengers to David's house to watch it and to kill him in the morning. But David's wife, Michal, told him, "If you do not escape tonight, tomorrow you will be a dead man." Immediately, Michal let David down. Is it Michael? Well, anyway, led David down through the window so that he could run away and escape. Chapter 23, verses 19 to 29.
The men of Ziph later went up to Saul at Gibeah and said,
"Is not David hiding near us in the places difficult to approach at Horesh, on the hill of Hakilah, which is south of Jeshimon?"
"Whenever it pleases you to come down, O king, come, and we will surrender him into the hand of the king."
At this, Saul said,
"May you be blessed by Jehovah, for you have shown compassion to me. Please go and try to find out exactly where he is and who saw him there. For I have been told that he is very cunning. Carefully ascertain where all his hiding places are, and return to me with the evidence. I will then go with you, and if he is in the land, I will search him out among all the thousands of Judah."
So they left and went to Ziph ahead of Saul, while David and his men were in the wilderness of Maon, in the Arabah, to the south of Jeshimon. Then Saul came with his men to look for him. When David was told, he at once went down to the crag and stayed in the wilderness of Maon. When Saul heard this, he chased after David into the wilderness of Maon. As Saul came to one side of the mountain, David and his men were on the other side of the mountain. David was hurrying to get away from Saul, but Saul and his men were closing in on David and his men to capture them. But a messenger came to Saul, saying,
"Come quickly, for the Philistines have made a raid on the land."
At that, Saul stopped chasing after David and went to confront the Philistines. That is why that place was named the Crag of the Divisions. Then David made his way up from there and stayed in the places difficult to approach at En-Gedi.
Okay. Chapter 24, 1 through 15.
As soon as Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines,
I'm not explaining these only because they're just telling the story of David and Saul. Okay?
told him,
"Look, David is in the wilderness of En-Gedi."
So Saul took 3,000 men chosen from all Israel and went to look for David and his men on the rocky cliffs of the mountain goats. Saul came to the stone sheepfolds along the road where there was a cave, and he went in to relieve himself while David and his men were sitting in the recesses at the back of the cave. David's men said to him,
"This is the day on which Jehovah is saying to you, 'Look, I am giving your enemy into your hand, and you can do to him whatever seems good to you.'"
So David rose up and quietly cut off the edge of Saul's sleeveless coat. But afterward, David's heart kept striking him because he had cut off the edge of Saul's sleeveless coat. He said to his men,
"It is unthinkable from Jehovah's standpoint that I should do such a thing to my Lord, the anointed of Jehovah, by lifting my hand against him.
for he is the anointed of Jehovah.
So David restrained his men with these words, and he did not allow them to attack Saul. As for Saul, he rose up from the cave and went on his way. Then David got up and went out from the cave, and called out after Saul,
"My lord, the king."
When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down low, with his face to the ground, and prostrated himself. David said to Saul,
"Why do you listen to the words of men who say, 'Look, David is seeking to harm you'? This very day your own eyes have seen how Jehovah gave you into my hand in the cave. But when someone said to kill you, I had pity on you and said, 'I will not lift my hand against my Lord, for he is the anointed of Jehovah.' And look, my father, yes, see the edge of your sleeveless coat in my hand. For when I cut off the edge of your sleeveless coat, I did not kill you. You can now see and understand that I do not intend to harm you or to rebel, and I have not sinned against you, whereas you are hunting me down to take my life. May Jehovah judge between you and me, and may Jehovah take vengeance on you for me, but my hand will not come against you. Just as the ancient proverb says, 'From the wicked comes wickedness, but my hand will not come against you.' After whom has the king of Israel gone out? Whom are you chasing? A dead dog? A single flea? May Jehovah be the judge, and he will judge between you and me, and he will see and will plead my case and judge me and rescue me from your hand."
Right. Now, one more. This is chapter 26. Wait, I just realized. No. Yeah, okay. Thought it said chapter 12. I'm like, why would they go 16, 18, 19, and 12? Well, so chapter 26, 1 through 20. Chapter 26, 1 through 25.
In time, the men of Ziph came to Saul at Gibeah, saying,
"Is David not hiding on the hill of Hakilah, facing Jeshimon?"
So Saul rose up and went down to the wilderness of Ziph with 3,000 chosen men of Israel to look for David in the wilderness of Ziph. Saul camped on the hill of Hakilah, which faces Jeshimon by the road. David was then living in the wilderness, and he learned that Saul had come into the wilderness after him. So David sent spies to verify that Saul had indeed come. David later went to the place where Saul had encamped, and David the place where Saul and Abner the son of Ner, the chief of his army, were lying asleep. Saul lay asleep in the camp enclosure, with the troops camping all around him. Then David said to Ahimelech the Hittite and Abishai the son of Zeruiah, brother of Joab,
"Who will go down with me into the camp to Saul?"
Abishai replied,
"I will go down with you."
So David and Abishai made their way to the They found Saul lying asleep in the camp enclosure, with his spear stuck into the ground next to his head. Abner and the troops were lying all around him. Abishai now said to David,
"Today God has surrendered your enemy into your hand. And now, please, let me pin him once, and I will not need to do it twice."
However, David said to Abishai,
Do not harm him. For who can lift his hand against the anointed of Jehovah and remain innocent?
David continued,
As surely as Jehovah is living, Jehovah himself will strike him down. Or his day will come and he will die. Or he will go down into battle and perish. It is unthinkable from Jehovah's standpoint for me to lift my hand against the anointed of Jehovah. So now take please the spear next to his head and the water jug, and let us be on our way.
So David took the spear and the water jug from next to Saul's head, and they went away. No one saw or noticed them or woke up, for they were all asleep, because a deep sleep from Jehovah had fallen upon them. Then David crossed to the other side and stood on the top of the mountain some distance away, with a considerable space between them. David went to the troops and to Abner the son of Ner, saying,
Abner, will you not answer?
Abner answered,
Who are you who calls to the king?
David said to Abner,
Are you not a man? And who is like you in Israel? So why did you not keep watch with the king? For one of the soldiers came in to do away with him. What you have done is not good. As surely as Jehovah is living, you deserve to die, because you have not kept watch over your Lord, the anointed of Jehovah. Now look around. Where are the king's spear and the water jug that were next to his head?
Then Saul recognized the voice of David and said,
Is this your voice, my son David?
David replied,
It is my voice, my lord the king.
He added,
Why is my lord chasing after his servant? For what have I done? And what am I guilty of? My lord the king, please listen to the words of his servant. If it is Jehovah who incited, let him accept my grain offering. But if men have incited you, they are cursed before Jehovah, because they have driven me away today from being united with Jehovah's inheritance, saying, Go, serve other gods. And now do not let my blood fall to the ground away from the presence of Jehovah. For the king of Israel has gone out to look for a single flea, as if he were chasing a partridge on the mountains.
In turn, Saul said,
I have sinned. Come back, son David, for I will do you no more harm, because you regarded my life as precious this day. Yes, I have acted foolishly and have made a terrible mistake.
Here is the spear of the king. Let one of the young men come over and take it. It is Jehovah who will repay each one for his own righteousness and his own faith. Jehovah gave you into my hand, but I was unwilling to lift my hand against the anointed of Jehovah. Look, just as your life was precious to me this day, so may my life be precious in the eyes of Jehovah, and may he rescue me out of all distress.
Saul replied to David,
May you, son David, you will surely, and you will surely prevail.
Then David went on his way, and Saul returned to his place.
But was that the end of him trying to kill Saul? I mean, was that the end of Saul trying to kill David? I think so. So, If I find out anything different, I'll let you know. So I'm going to go have breakfast, relax, and go live earlier because I'll be leaving some point for my doctor's. So I love you. Love. Don't judge. Until next time, my jelly beans.